What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 40 of the Gamers for Life podcast, each and every Saturday discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, my right-hand man, my ABXY, Arthur. What's going on, man?
Not much. That's me. Doing really good. I actually had a really productive day.
Nice.
Like cleaned the apartment, paid some bills, got a haircut,
Nice.
cleaned the litter box. Cats are happy with that. I wasn't.
Looking fancy as well, sir. I have to give you your flowers on that.
Yeah, I decided I should stop wearing at-home shirts when I'm going to be on camera. Because we were talking about like every guy has like the category clothes.
Yeah.
It's like at-home shirts, shirts they're going out with, and then like beyond that's like suits or super fancy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up until now, it's been at-home shirts.
Yeah.
You know, like AKA the whole like 3 exact clone copies of a shirt, you know, for like $10. The pack, 3-pack for $10, whatever.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's funny. I got my wife got me some clothes from Walmart, and strangely enough, their shirts are pretty good quality and pretty
Nice.
cheap. So yeah, I was like, thanks.
Yeah, I miss Walmart, or especially at least Ross shopping.
Yeah.
As a grown man, I kind of outgrew them. I've upgraded to the life of 3XL.
Yeah.
And normal retailers don't carry 3XL stuff. Like, you might get lucky, otherwise 3XL is where it stops, and you gotta look online, or B, to the big and tall. And I am one of those things.
No worries, man. There's sizes for everyone, and speaking of for everyone, this podcast can be for everyone, whether you're a casual gamer, mobile gamer, or you have the main current consoles or whatnot. But for the Gamers for Life podcast, again, if you are watching this, hi, be sure to we'd love to have you here. You're welcome here. Be sure to follow us, or subscribe, I should say. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well, so you'll be notified on when all the episodes will be released and whatnot. And then also, of course, you can also listen to the podcast. If you don't want to see our beautiful faces, you can go to your application of choice, podcast streaming, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, what have you. And of course, we do have the Twitch channel, the Gamers for Life pod. So it's twitch.tv, Gamers for Life pod. Be sure to check that out. Because Arthur does some streams. And speaking of that, it's so funny. We recently had we streamed some of the most recent DLC for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, the Pirate's Life update, with Jack Sparrow and the crew. It's really fun. So this is by far, I think, the biggest expansion to Sea of Thieves, because it has its own like world, or its servers. Yeah. So like, for example, up until now, when you play Sea of Thieves, you have 2 options: adventure, which is like the main game, you go into the map and you do your thing, or arena, which is just an area for PvP, like versus other players. But now there's a third option of it's a Pirate's Life, the new DLC stuff.
Oh wow!
And it's really cool. So it's the story's all told in 5 tall tales. You and I, Prime, and Church, we all streamed. We all did the first tall tale,
nice,
which is kind of opens the story. And dude, yesterday we did the second. We streamed the second tall tale.
Oh, you did?
Way fucking harder.
Oh man!
Like, I don't know if I haven't been on the forums lately, but I hope everyone is kind of bombarding Rare to like please add more resources.
Yeah.
Because there is a boss fight where you will run out of cannonballs, and you have to kill this boss by shooting it maybe 4 people, 5 bullets each, maybe 100, maybe with 100 bullets.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, picture this giant boss, and you're clearly supposed to shoot cannonballs, because like a ship's like, there's like this, everyone gets like a cannon thing. Yeah. And you're supposed to shoot it, but you run out of cannons like in like 2 minutes.
Oh shit.
So you're just sitting there, everyone's just sitting there shooting their pistols at this giant boss. And clearly it just needs more resources, because there's been other bosses in the game where they give you a bunch of resources to do the job. So it just felt like it was unnecessarily hard, because there was a lack of ammo.
Oh man,
cannonball specifically.
That sounds fun. Yeah, because when I streamed with you guys, that was really fun.
It was fun. No, yeah, yeah. But the second one's definitely a lot of fighting and a lot of like. There's 2 boss fights. So if you're listening to this and you play Sea of Thieves, if you go into it, make sure you are absolutely supplied with cannonballs, and you bring a supply box of extra cannonballs, because we were annoyed. We were over it. Because it was fun, but it was just one of those boss fights that just was drawn out more than it needed to be.
I see.
And again, it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Just put in more cannonballs. That's it.
Yeah. Please more cannonballs. Shooting this 4 players, a quote unquote clip is 5 bullets. We all reloaded like a dozen to 2 dozen times each. So a lot of bullets being fired. Oh my God.
That took forever.
That's hilarious. Very cool. Well, of course, guys, here on the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news while you can watch what you choose or listen to what you choose by clicking on the time codes within the description of the episodes, so you can go straight to the segments that we discussed today. You can do that on the YouTube channel. You can also do that on the streaming applications as well. So feel free to do that. And starting out here, it's funny. This week wasn't a super big news week, but there's a couple of things that creeped in a bit, and definitely we want to apply attention to it. Speaking of applying attention to it, there's a lot of eyebrows raised, I should say, when it comes to Electronic Arts acquiring the Warner Brothers games Playdemic. For $1.4 billion.
With a B.
With a B. That's a lot of big B purchases being purchased this year.
The more this story goes on, you'll see why that is very important.
So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, it says here in quote, video game giant Electronic Arts has struck a deal with AT&T and its Warner Media unit to acquire Warner Brothers Games mobile game studio Playdemic for $1.4 billion in cash. And of course, that's alleged because it's the Hollywood Reporter. But to continue here, it says Playdemic is a premier mobile gaming company founded in 2010 and known for its popular award-winning game Golf Clash. EA said on Wednesday, Golf Clash is one of the leading mobile games in the US and UK and has more than 80 million downloads globally to date. Damn, talk about a number to strut. And continuing on, it says here that we have enjoyed working with the talented team at Playdemic as they have grown Golf Clash beyond all expectations into a hit mobile game with tremendous longevity, said David Haddad, president of Warner Brothers Games. Continuing on, he said that while we have a great respect for the Playdemic team, our decision to divest is a part of our overall strategy to build games based on Warner Brothers' storied franchises, says here in quote. Playdemic is a team of future innovators, and we're thrilled to have them join the Electronic Arts family, said EA CEO Andrew Wilson. And it says, continue on, it says here, in addition to the ongoing success of Golf Clash, the talent, technology, and expertise of Playdemic will be a powerful combination with our teams and IP at Electronic Arts. This is the next step to building on our strategy to expanding our sports portfolio and accelerating our growth in mobile to reach more players around the world with more great games and content. End quote. I'm going to end there. So given that, Arthur, I mean, what are your thoughts about this deal here?
I think it's bold of them to say games plural because, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening, they just paid $1.4 billion for a studio that has made one game,
but 80 million downloads, man. That's insane. US and UK globally to date.
I'm not saying
that's a strut.
I'm not saying it's
these guys are amazing.
It's that that's my thing though. It's like 1.4 billion for one game. Now here's the thing. This is actually connected to another story that we didn't really cover because at the time we didn't think it was that big, but it connects. This is absolutely connecting the dots. So for those of you who don't know, something we have talked about in the past, EA did make a contract with the NFL for 5 years worth of exclusive rights to make realistic football simulators. That means if you're a fan of the NFL and you want more football games, the only football games you will get with your players' names or likeliness is the Madden NFL games.
Yeah.
Now, here's why I'm saying that. Because in May, EA acquired the rights to major championships for PGA Tour games. So like the Masters and other golf tournament names, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I believe these two things are 100% connected. So EA already had the exclusive rights to NFL video games.
Yeah.
And then as of May, they have the exclusive rights to PGA Tour like games.
Okay.
And it'll fast forward a month, bam, they bought an award-winning golf mobile game. So within the next, however long it takes to make a mobile game, I'm betting you're going to see like PGA Tour, the mobile game. Because so again on that note, for those of you that listen and do play golf games or like want to check it out, again, so the deal with that though is it's tournament games.
Yeah.
So like Masters. So it's unclear whether or not right now they have like the 100% likeliness to like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Or again, other golfers, I don't know. But the way it was worded, it was based on tours.
Okay.
Like events. Again, like the Masters and other. This is I believe $1.4 billion falling a month ago, exclusive right spot. So again, I absolutely believe we're going to see a PGA Tour mobile game in the next few months.
Yeah. It seems that way too, right? Because when it comes to the purchase, it seems like it's very much directed towards the sports mobile game genre. Like, I doubt these guys are going to be working on the next Battlefield, like mobile content.
I hope not.
I mean? It's like, great job on golf mobile. Let's make this first person shooter.
I hope not. And again, for those of you that forgot about Battlefield Mobile, again, because they were smart, and EA did not mention it at E3.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, that's very smart of them.
Yeah. We
You
never
can't
forget here at the Game of Strife podcast.
Especially when it comes to EA, I never forget. The thing is too, it's like, if they would have showed, the game, not even the gameplay, at least the announcement trailer of that famous scene of the guy jumping out of the jet, shooting the jet, getting back in his jet, and also said, coming soon to Battlefield Mobile. The cheers would have immediately been followed by boos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny because the YouTube comments were already flaring up with everything. So, to have that there, that would have been hilarious just to watch, just to see people's reactions on the chat and everything. So you're absolutely right. It was 100% smart of them to not mention it, because their specific strategy in that was to get those Battlefield 4 fans and to get them connected to Battlefield 2042, and I feel like that they achieved that. So so we'll see what happens. And then obviously the EA Play event is going to be happening in July, so we're going to find out what happens there. One story that I forgot to mention here on the show, Arthur, is they said that they're going to announce a series that people once loved. You remember that? I posted it sometime earlier this week on the Gamers for Life.
EA did?
For the EA Play event. They said that they are going to be revealing a series that people are familiar with again. So a lot of people are speculating on a couple of different things.
I guessed this was in ties with their previous announcement of the NCAA football. Because that is coming back too.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's the same thing, because looking back, it will be weird to announce one thing.
That would be such a downer.
And then to have a cryptic message and have the announcement be the same thing. But yeah, I don't know what else it'll be, because EA, I'm trying to think what other things they have that aren't already going to exist.
What about KOTOR?
Well, but again, a new one, because they already announced, because the remasters already announced.
Yeah.
So again, same thing, kind of like a new one, like a part 3.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, because on the Gamers for Listening, this is why it's important to follow us on Gamers for Live podcast on our Instagram, because I post a bunch of different news stories throughout the week where we do, and one of them here, it says and this is according to IGN, says a fan favorite series is rumored to be revived and announced during the EA Play event. Do you think it would be NCAA? Was it loved that much? I know it was something that people did like.
It was fun. I think the best feature, if they don't bring it back,
I would love Jade Empire, but that's just me being selfish.
Well, now at least speaking to the NCAA football, if there was a feature in those games that like I've yet to see just as entertaining.
Yeah.
And if they don't bring back, you're gonna get an Arthur, lovely fuck you EA. Is the NCAA mascot games.
Oh, okay.
Where you can make your entire team, and it wasn't like a mod, it was a feature. You can make the entire team that school's mascot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like you can have like mascot versus like mascots versus mascots.
That's pretty fun.
It was so fun. So they need to bring that back. Now the thing is though, if it's anything like NFL Madden, and we have NFL Madden players watching or listening, they've noticed that over the years they have not added features to Madden. They've taken them out. Like Madden.
Yeah, people are pissed at the most recent Madden. People are not happy with it at all.
You can create a character. How many facial options do you think a multi-billion-dollar game like Madden has to create a character face? How many faces?
5.
Ooh, close. 6. So right now, if you have a Madden game, you want to create a character, you have an option of 6 faces.
Wow.
And that's with skin tone.
Oh my god.
No, it's like create a face and change the skin tone. No, that's like as is, poof.
That's wild.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, it's funny because the new Tokyo 2020 game came out, even though the Olympics didn't happen. The game came out because they made the game. they made it. They need to release it at some point.
Right.
It's funny because that's like a $40 game, and that has more facial options than a Madden game. Yeah. So if you're to buy it,
my goodness.
So if you're to buy the Tokyo 2020 game, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics video game, you have more creative character options than the $70 multi-billion-dollar profit NFL Madden.
Jeez Louise, man. That's ridiculous. Yeah, because even Cyberpunk had a pretty varied option, but I mean, it's CD Projekt Red. These are RPG people.
Yeah.
They should.
I'll give that comparison. I'll give RPG should have that. But again, $40 Olympic game to a multi-billion-dollar profit annual NFL Madden.
Yeah, it was the last thing on the totem pole for them to focus on. So definitely. And speaking of other things on the list here, I don't have a segue for this.
Can I mention one last thing?
Yes.
So we mentioned how they bought Playdemic for $1.4 billion.
Yeah.
It was not mentioned how much they bought the golf rights for.
Oh,
so that's unknown. I was like, if you saw me, I was scrolling through the article to look for a number, with a dollar sign. So because
I'm sure they, that makes sense. Interesting.
And as right now they have the rights for 2 years.
Okay.
For 2 years.
So it's a licensing deal.
Yes.
Interesting.
So the NFL, again, the EA NFL license deals for 5 more years. Though that contract states if successful, it will be extended. Okay. So that's why a lot of people like me are hoping NFL Madden 22 to bomb. Because
it seems like it. Fans are not happy from what I've heard.
I won't go into too much. So we don't focus on this. But we mentioned competition is good, and there's no competition right now when it comes to football games. Yeah. Because of EA.
Yeah.
So with at least with the golf thing, unknown how much they bought the rights for. But it's as of right now a 2-year deal. Whereas NFL's 5.
Interesting. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. We'll see what happens when it comes to that. And if there are enough games that are releasing this year, speaking of games releasing, this is a game, Arthur, which I think is interesting because there is a lot of content shown for this game early on this year. And I was very surprised that this game was not shown during E3. Or mentioned. It's just very, very odd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red flags, in my opinion, on this, which is very unfortunate because the first showing of this title, it seemed pretty cool. But I'm going to continue with the article here. So according to GameSpot, it talks about the title of the article here: Aliens Fireteam gets a new name and August 24th release date. Pre-orders open at the moment. And it says here in quote, developer Cold Iron Studios has revealed that the Aliens Fireteam Elite will launch on October 24th. The game is now available for pre-order also. The upcoming co-op shooter was originally revealed as Aliens Fireteam. The Elite has been tacked on the game's title, revealed alongside the official release date. Alongside the standard edition, $40. The Elite Fireteam, or the Fireteam Elite, will have a deluxe edition 70 as well. The deluxe edition will include the Endeavor Pass, 4 cosmetic DLC bundles that will release alongside gameplay updates, and the Endeavor Veteran Pack, which has 20 exclusive cosmetic items available at launch. Both the Endeavor Pass and Endeavor Veteran Pack can be purchased separately as well. Pre-ordering either edition of Aliens Fireteam will net you the Hardened Marine Pack for free. The pack contains several cosmetic items such as the Chest Burster emote, bandana item, and the digital red camo weapon skin. Taking place 23 years after the event of the original Alien trilogy, Aliens Fireteam Elite sees you play as a colonial marine on board the USS Endeavor, which unfortunately finds itself invaded by a swarm of alien xenomorphs after responding to the distress call in outer colonies. Aliens Fireteam Elite will launch on Xbox Series X, S, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. The game will feature cross-gen play, but no cross-play. So PS5 can play with PS4, but not Xbox or PC, for example. End quote. Kind of weird. Kind of weird there. Cross-gen, but not cross-play.
Well, what?
Yeah, so PS5 can play with PS4 users, but Xbox can't play with PC. But Xbox Series X and S can probably play with Xbox One. That sucks.
Yeah.
They should have. Why didn't they focus on cross play versus cross gen? That makes zero sense to me.
I don't know.
That's another red flag.
Because, I mean, if you're one of like the 20 people that got next gen, that's not a scalper. It's good news to you. You can play with the rest of your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, side note, I'm on their site now to see what else Cold Iron has made.
Yeah.
And their site isn't working.
Are you serious?
They're hiring. I can tell you that. That's the only link that works right now.
Yeah.
They say they have award-winning shooters and MMOs, but I'm like, you want to list them?
Such as?
I can't find it. But my thing is, I'm happy this game's going to exist. Comes out August 24th.
Yeah. I wonder if it's online only, because it's only $40.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, $40. Rule of thumb: when you see a cooperative game or gameplay, I should say, and you hear $40, that just shouts online only.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. I'm not mad, because again, that's the upside. That's the upside. If you love the game, hey, we realize that it's less of a price.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that.
I agree with that. I think that makes sense too. I think my concern is the cross-gen play, but not cross-play. That is very odd to me, because I know if they were attempted to focus on that, the game wouldn't be out August 24th. But I'm just wondering, it seems like the game is practically almost gold at this point. I'm wondering why this wasn't shown at E3. To me, that's a red flag. And this crossplay, I mean, to me, the thing that I like in the gaming industry right now is that the people noticing how important crossplay is, and obviously possible that it is, but how this is going to prolong the longevity of these older games. So like Borderlands 3, for example, PC crossplay, but the PlayStation is still left in the dust when it comes to that. So it would seem like an obvious choice for it to be crossplay. So who knows? Maybe they'll have an update in the future to fix that. But I just feel like that's just it's like an obvious miss, so. One
thing I will say, as I'm trying to learn more about the studio, because now it's like, hey Arthur, we're trying to learn more about the studio. It's because I mentioned multiple times. It's because that's what game. I'm not saying this game is on Game Pass. But being a customer of Game Pass, I've picked up that trait.
Yeah.
I picked it up of like, hey, here's an indie game from this indie developer you've never heard of that's on Game Pass.
This would be a great game on Game Pass, too.
And so I played so many indie games on Game Pass I love. I'm like, oh my God, who's this from? I want to know what else they make. I've done that multiple times with Deep Rock Galactic and Coffee Stain and Ghost Ship Studios. They make, I forget the developer of Valheim, but Coffee Stain's the publisher.
Yeah.
That also publishes Deep Rock.
Yeah.
Both award-winning games. So again, I'm trying to find out more about the studio. Side note, I have found out that Gold Iron Studios, as of August.
Gold or Cold Iron?
Cold Iron.
Oh, okay. That was like a beer company.
No, I'm doing I have that thing over like one eye sees Mike, one eye sees studio. Camera one, camera two.
I can pull it up too. Like
I just I mean, because
you're multitasking. I get it. We need to get you. We need to have your laptop open too for the next episode.
No, it's fine. But I was saying, so one thing I'm trying to find out what else they've made. Yeah. And a story that did pop up on my little search here is Cold Iron Studios, as of August 2020, has been bought and sold as a studio for the fourth time.
Oh, wow.
So it was founded in 2015, and I guess between 2015 and 2020, it had been bought and sold 4 times.
Really?
Which is very odd. I mean, the one thing I will say...
Who's publishing this? Does this show?
No, because this article is about the buying thing, not the game. The publisher itself.
Got it.
Now, one thing I will say that's possibly a good thing about this story, or at least this story, them being bought and sold.
Yeah.
They still exist. Because we've heard of many studios that get bought and sold once, and then the second time that happens, they just get disavowed or deconstructed as a company. It's like you stay, you go, you stay, you go, you stay, you go.
Yeah.
Or like the company just dissolves. That's where the company gets dissolved in the buying process.
Right. Exactly. They're laid off and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, but again, on paper it sounds weird or concerning that they've been bought and sold 4 times in now 6 years.
Yeah.
But upside. Again, we've heard of companies that have been dissolved faster than that with less buys and sells in that time.
And even that's a good point, Arthur. And even with games that are even more popular, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where they dissolve the devs. Like
the old king of classic I would say the king of second wave platformers, THQ Nordic.
Yeah.
It's like, classic platformers being Mega Man, Sonic, Mario.
Kingdoms of Amalur too, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah. That pissed me off so much, dude. Well, such a great game.
Well, you can do it. I didn't, and buy it remastered.
Yeah. This upsets me.
But again, THQ Nordic was, I think the king of that second wave of platformers, or just fun games.
Yeah.
What's the game I was playing here and there? Destroy All Humans. It's just a fun classic game.
Yeah.
And again, that was a major company. It's got dissolved.
Yeah. Jesus. It sucks, man. Yeah, it seems like it looks like Focus Home Interactive is the publisher for the game.
Focus is good.
Yeah.
Focus isn't, I would say, as known as other publishers, like EA and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Interesting. It says Call of Cthulhu. They did that one.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is good.
Interesting. Speaking of red flags, there's been some worriness as far as just the release date for Halo Infinite, deemed to be released holiday of this year. And even the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer himself, the granddaddy, he commented on a podcast. So according to NME.com, they continue here and said that Xbox boss Phil Spencer reportedly said that Halo Infinite doesn't have a set release date and that they're waiting on other games, says here, end quote. As reported by the VGC, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has stated in the latest Dropped Frames podcast that Microsoft doesn't have a set release date for the upcoming first-person shooter just yet. He said, in quote, "For us, we know kind of our range in the 3 to 4 week range. We don't have yet the exact day, there's some other things with some other game timing that we're trying to look at. It says that we'll have a better clarity over the summer, but this isn't a months thing. This is just down to a few weeks. And so instead of picking this date and having it to be moved by a week, which at this point it would feel like a fail, we don't want to do that. Let's wait until we're really solid on what the date is. Halo Infinite currently has a planned release date for holiday 2021 after undergoing several development delays. Spencer went on to say that the team is very committed to the holiday launch and that we, in quote, feel good about that, end quote. So, Arthur, I wanted to throw this on your end. Mm-hmm. You know, what are your thoughts as far as, you know, his response on that podcast, you know, saying that, you know, it just seems like it's just a few weeks away. You know, we don't want to move it around. So it seems like more of a semantics thing. So you shouldn't be worried, right?
Yeah. So a few things. First thing, I definitely want to know what that podcast did to get Phil Spencer on their show.
Yeah, seriously, shout out to you guys, but yeah, let's link.
I won't fail. You know, secondly, you know, it's not a secret. I'm, you know, I could be a little biased towards Xbox. I'm a very happy customer. So.
I would never know that.
But you know, if I were to look at this constructively, or like I say unbiasedly, I can say, oh, that's a lie. They just need more time to polish the game. But you know, even if that's the truth, it's a good lie.
Yeah,
it's a lie that makes sense because you know, that's something I've said multiple times where I try. You know, sometimes during the holidays, it's inevitable because everything's like the same month, November, or as we discussed last episode, October.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do the best I can to space out my game purchases based on play dates. Like, you know, like let's say RPG wise, let's say Fallout 4 comes out. You know, let's say when the Fallout 4 came out, I didn't buy a game for like another month or two.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I knew I was gonna be tunnel visioning that hard.
Yeah.
So you know, so let's say Sony, you know, let's say, you know, kind of, you know, if I put in my Sony brain, oh, that's a lie, Phil Spencer. They just need more time to polish the game. But again, it's not like he said it's delayed. You know, it said at max what, 4 weeks? 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a month. That's fine.
Yeah, seriously. No, I agree. You know, and I think what's interesting about this is his specific language that he said it would be a fail at this point. And I know it was kind of like a joke, but just kind of like hearing that he knows how important it is for it to come out the day that it says for them to come out.
Yeah.
He knows how important. Yeah. Like he knows that date. People are going to lean on that. Gamers are going to lean on that, especially from a previous conversation where we talked about, you know, I don't think they can afford pushing this date back again. And, you know, obviously Phil talks about how the team is very committed, which it seems like they actually are, you know. Yeah. So shout out to 343. But yeah, so I think this is it seems like just semantics at this point, a little bit concerning, but it seems like it's just more so semantics because a couple of games obviously are probably going to be rolling around that week. And it also shows a nice consideration as well because they could easily just come out whenever they want to come out and ruin a bunch of other game releases.
And the thing is, you know, to a point, we saw gameplay of the multiplayer. You know, and, you know, like we discussed, that was a huge announcement. You know, that a lot of people were happy about that because they said, like, because a lot of people were, you know, it was like a joke. It was like a joke how much better Halo Online is capable of being. Yeah. So it's like, what? You don't have battle passes every year. How are you going to keep people playing? By just being fun.
And the battle passes don't expire now, which is pretty cool. So
you know, it's like they're going back to not just Halo roots, they're going back to multiplayer roots of how did games survive being online for so long by being just fun.
Yeah.
Like look at Team Fortress 2. Like I mean they've had 1,000,001 cosmetic updates, but the core game is still Team Fortress 2. That community is still strong.
Nice.
But yeah, that was just fun. You know, it's like all the memes of like Fortnite, Apex, and what is the other one? I can't think of another battle royale. I don't play battle royale games, sorry, but it's like, you know, Apex, Fortnite, and Warzone. There you go, Call of Duty Warzone. It's like what? You're not gonna have new, you know, you're gonna have battle passes every season. How are you going to keep people entertained? By being fun, by being just
called quality.
Yeah, just by being genuinely fun, like Halo multiplayer used to be, man.
Yeah,
dude, those were the days. Like capturing the flag, and how you capturing a flag and just running, or hoping your friend has the Warthog to drive you back to base, and just being bombarded by grenades and rocket launchers and Spartan lasers, just praying to God you make it back to base.
Yeah, those were the days, definitely. So very cool. And then obviously, the icing on the cake, Halo Infinite will be on Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah, that just writes it home there. And speaking of Game Pass, for those of you who are a part of the PC community, you know that Windows 11 came out on the 24th, came out today. Recording. You're listening to this on Saturday. So, and the neat thing about this is that reportedly Xbox Game Pass is built into Windows 11 itself.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty insane. I think it's amazing. And I want to continue the story here. So according to Polygon, it says here in quote, Windows 11, the next version of Microsoft's operating system, will offer a number of features targeted toward PC gamers, led by Xbox Game Pass directly within Windows' new Xbox app. Microsoft announced Thursday during its Windows 11 reveal event, presenting Windows 11 as, in quote, the best Windows ever for gaming. Sarah Bond, Xbox corporate vice president for game creator experience and ecosystem, appeared on that's a lot for her title. Appeared on Microsoft's live stream to announce the Xbox Game Pass will be, in quote, built right into Windows 11. Microsoft has been testing this functionality for many months with the redesigned app for Windows 10, but clips of Windows 11 version that the Bond showed seem to indicate a deeper integration. The Xbox app will also offer Xbox Cloud gaming for those who subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Cloud streaming is not included in the cheaper PC or console-only tiers of the service. The integration will also allow people to play the highest fidelity games on all PCs, Bond said. Cloud gaming is currently available on PC, but only through a web browser. So continue on here. It says that Microsoft announced this during the E3 last week that it's finishing up the transition to Xbox Series X hardware in the Azure data centers that support Xbox Cloud gaming, and that it is bringing Xbox Cloud gaming to Xbox One. And I'm going to end there. End quote. So Arthur, I have a question. It's very much a conspiracy theory of sorts. So I'm going to warn you there. But to me, it seems like they're making the cloud so powerful that you don't need a console at all at this point. Is this going to be their last console? Is Xbox Series X and S, is this going to be their very last console?
Maybe. I mean, the dots are going that pattern because, again, for some reason during an Epic versus Apple trial, we found out Xbox or Microsoft doesn't make profits off their consoles.
Yeah.
They make profits off their services.
Yeah.
Their games and Game Pass. And, and recently came out that Microsoft is working to have xCloud, which is, in my opinion, the true future of mobile gaming.
Yeah. Of gaming, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Be as powerful as potentially as powerful as a Series X, as long as your hardware and or internet to a point can provide it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like I said, there's a lot to again. There's a lot to unpack. One thing I definitely like is, as a company as a whole, this shows that Microsoft, as a company as a whole, is truly focusing on games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an absolute focus. Because I heard they released something where they're like at 2 trillion or something for the company, which is like nuts.
Because like Sony, like Microsoft has a million or more products beyond the Xbox. It's like Sony, they make TVs, they make all this other stuff, like Microsoft.
Yeah.
So it would be crazy to hear of like PlayStation Network, or that it'll be like a potential comparison, which I don't think they'll do. And if they did, I'm calling it. Like new Sony TVs will have that Sony streaming service built in, or like a year for free or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because again, that'll be integrating their service with their hardware.
Yeah,
and clearly Microsoft is seeing just how, on a massive, large scale, how profitable and popular the Game Pass service is.
Right.
And combine that with xCloud and the fact they don't make money off consoles, maybe again, maybe like quote unquote next generation will not be a hardware focus, but a service focus on Game Pass and the xCloud.
And the one thing, the other factor too, is that like recently they announced as far as the they're making monitors dedicated to Xbox xCloud or Game Pass.
Series X.
Series X.
Yes, they're Xbox, Microsoft is making monitors. Again, you're absolutely correct. They're making monitors to optimize with the Series X.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy. And like to me that's another test too, to see how far can they expand this. Like, are we going to start seeing Xbox TVs versus the consoles?
If they do, let's say all this time-wise happens this year.
Yeah.
In November, not only is the holiday season, it's also my birthday time.
That's right.
I will have in my home, if supplies available, a Series X, that Xbox monitor,
yeah,
and an Xbox fridge,
dude,
in my house.
Ballin'.
Actually, well, since the mini fridge, everything I just said will probably be in my room.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get out of there, man, with all that fun in there.
Dude, again, God, they're just so fucking on it.
Yeah, yeah, it's incredible. I mean, obviously they have the cachet and the monetary gain to do so, but you're absolutely right. Like, there's a lot of companies that are big companies, but they're just not focusing on the right things, or they just don't. It seems like they don't have a plan in place. Microsoft, like, they're just cruising along, man. They're just absolutely on cruise control. I 100% agree. And they're changing the industry, and there's a lot of pushback, or just a lot of like, what ifs on the other side as far as like, how is this even profitable?
Yeah.
And I think that remains to be seen. But obviously the subscribers are absolutely key to this, right? Mm. So I think when it comes to just when they talked about like having this 120 frames per second, or just like the same power. Oh, and then mentioning how Xbox One consoles can play, or Xbox Cloud, you'll be able to play Series X games via X Cloud.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's fucking nuts.
They don't have to do that.
No, like this is still technically E3 month. Mm-hmm. So not only did Xbox again win E3, people say Nintendo didn't, but again, Nintendo, let's say, had 12 games.
Yeah,
Xbox had 30, 27 of which were on Game Pass.
Yeah,
so they had both quality and quantity on their side. Yeah. So again, unbiasedly constructive, I still think Xbox One Game Pass.
It's just Breath of the Wild was definitely a contender for that. But
again, you can't Breath of the Wild. You can't Breath of the Wild up against Halo, Psychonauts 2, Battlefield 2042. Like, you just can't.
Yeah.
So and then again, the nail on the coffin for E3 was the Xbox mini fridge. And again, during their actual commercial, the words on screen, yes, this is happening.
Right.
So
that trailer is hilarious too. Dude, they had fun making that.
And so like in the same E3 month, they announced. So they had E3. They announced their Xbox fridge. They announced the Xbox monitor. They announced the cloud mobile games on your phone.
Yeah.
Of PC players on your PC can have Xbox Series X games on these mobile devices.
It's wild, dude. Wild.
And this new announcement that we're talking about right now, my operating system Windows 11 is built to be integrated with Game Pass, which is amazing news for PC players. Again, this is like they're just fucking killing it, man.
They're killing it, absolutely. Yeah, and then just recently, Jim Ryan is like, it seems like the kids won't crossplay. It's like, what are you doing, Jim Ryan? What are you doing?
See, again, half the time we shit on Sony, we just quote them.
Exactly. Like, we're not even saying awful things. We're just literally saying what he said. I'm still sticking to my guns. He will step down eventually. He's not doing enough. Like, there's just it's hard to argue Game Pass of it not being a service that makes sense to get. It's like Netflix at this point, or beyond Netflix, right? Because it's video games we're talking about.
Yeah,
you know, where it's just like it doesn't make sense to pay the extra $15 for all this cool shit.
Yeah, again, to show how Sony clearly isn't like truly game focused. That one huge quote unquote huge announcement was, oh, we're gonna have our own streaming service.
Yeah,
that's why that's why we closed down the video store, the entertainment store from Sony Store, which again I think is stupid because as a customer I still digitally rent movies on my Xbox all the time.
Yeah,
like remember like last week it was like I feel like watching Tropic Thunder. I'll pay $3 to watch it at my home right now.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and again I still do that. So in terms of again in terms of if you talk about Xbox, to a point, we have to say, okay, what's Sony doing as a competitor? Hire me. Because for me, as a not entire Sony-based customer, that would be, what I mentioned earlier, would be a potential good integration. Hey, Sony, you make TVs, you have a streaming service. Combine the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if in the next year we don't see that, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for Sony not to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, get a bag somehow.
Because you mentioned we mentioned the Microsoft monitors. Of course, monitors smaller than TV. Again, if you mentioned if they start making their own Microsoft TVs, you bet it's gonna fucking come with the X Cloud.
Oh yeah,
the X Cloud on that shit.
TV with a controller. Boom, have fun.
Yeah, and that's Sony. I'm trying. I get it, but again, that's
in the design lab. We didn't even talk about the design lab coming back for the controllers.
Oh yeah,
like that's awesome as well. Coming back.
Yeah, and for those who didn't know what we're talking about, the design lab is you can make your custom controllers through the Microsoft Store.
Yeah.
So again, whereas Sony is suing people for customizing their fucking consoles, Xbox is like, oh, you want to make custom controllers? Here you fucking go. It's allowed. It's on our store. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, and to a point, I'm sure they prevent vulgarities. You can fucking engrave it.
Yeah, you can put some cool engraving on it. Dude.
So again,
God damn it, man.
Hey Etsy sellers, you're making cooler looking PS5s than us. A PS5, the wings, as they call it on the sides, the wings than us. Fuck you. Whereas Xbox is like, oh hey, people miss making their own controllers. Fuck it, reopen the store.
Yeah.
Reopen the design lab.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, it's just their playbook is like Patriots.
It's
dude, their playbook's solid, man.
Dude, it's just
or Buccaneers now, but yeah.
I know, right? I still that's funny. Dude leaves, goes to new city. Who wants a Super Bowl ring? Follow me. That's my 2 cents on football on sports for today. But again, it's like they're just clearly so customer, like beyond game, customer focused.
Yeah.
What do customers want? This customers like, okay, and if not customer at least focused, customer like generating customer focus with this Windows 11 thing.
Yeah.
Like hey, you're a PC gamer, but you really haven't been Team Game Pass yet. Oh, but you're gonna get Windows 11. Guess what? You know what I mean?
Shabam. Yeah.
So I know a few people that have PS4s, not PS5s, but again, that's a supply thing, not on them. I know a lot of people that are Sony people, but they're getting on, if not the Xbox, like truly Xbox bandwagon, but the Game Pass bandwagon through Game Pass. I have a lot of friends. I say it's like, man, they're like, yeah, I got Sony, but man, that Game Pass is so cool. And I tell them like, hey, you know it's on PC, right? They're like, oh yeah, and then like, fucking like, bam, $15 a month, worth it.
Right, exactly. Insane stuff, man. Just absolutely a value in its entirety. And speaking of value, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, being stripped away from our cold dead hands, Ubisoft removed the Goldeneye Far Cry 5 maps that a fan developed in 3 years. 3 years developing it. It's just taken away. And so continuing here, according to Kotaku, they say here, in quote, for the past few weeks, a YouTuber known as Crawleywood has painstakingly recreated every level from GoldenEye 007 inside level editor of Far Cry 5. This week, Ubisoft removed all of those levels from Far Cry 5 due to copyright infringement claim. I'm so bad for this guy. Part of me's like, you should have, like, how do you not see this coming? But let me continue this. Continuing here, it says here, quote, Kotaku first reported on Crawleywood's effort earlier this month. Over the course of 3 years in an endeavor that tallied more than 1,400 hours, Crawleywood recreated every stage from GoldenEye 007, the classic N64 shooter. It was an impressive effort and modernized recreation of the beloved yet tough to find old game, and it looked great too. Lastly, it says here you can find and play those levels yourself by hopping into Far Cry 5's arcade mode and punching into Crawleywood's username. As of this writing, you no longer can. Ubisoft removed all of them from Far Cry 5, a move that Crawleywood described as, in quote, really sad. Know that he probably won't be able to restore them since he's, in quote, on their radar now, end quote. Crawleywood, it's cool you could do that, but you're kind of an idiot thinking that they wouldn't remove it for copyright infringement.
Well, I mean,
and he needs to be hired.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, to a point, if you just remove the like the phrase GoldenEye, is it really copyrighted? Yeah.
I mean, the maps, the maps are directly towards GoldenEye.
That sucks.
I think if he adjusted it and you are catching on to something because there's like Gary's mod. Right.
Yeah, because like Gary's mod, Minecraft, Roblox, like Skyrim, like there's a million things people have modded or done that have been taken down have not been taken down, and they've done way more potential quote unquote copyright.
Yeah, I mean he's not hurting anybody, but just for the sheer factor of it, it's like you should have seen this coming or talked to someone to have seen this coming. That's kind of my thing.
I wouldn't have. Well, because I wouldn't have. The only reason I say I wouldn't have is because again, like Roblox, Minecraft, Gary's mod, you see other things like people have made full out cities like in fucking Minecraft. Like people have made London. Or like, things in the, they're there.
But they're not redesigning a whole new game that was made, though. Have we seen that?
I'm trying to think.
Because if we have, then that's a good point. But I don't know if we've seen something to this granular detail. Because he literally took 1,400 hours to specifically map it to GoldenEye. And you know what makes me pissed about this too? And this is aside from, him not knowing there'd be copyright taken down. People I feel like companies are, this is what I like about Microsoft.
Yeah.
They listen to their gamers. They listen to what people want. People would love to play GoldenEye again redesigned.
Yeah. Because
it's like, why does Crawleywood get it? And he understands that. And when people make this, a bunch of people were on his server or whatnot playing this.
Yeah.
And you're just going to take it down. Oh, no, we own this. You can't do that. It's like, why don't you guys think about this and say, hey, maybe we should make a GoldenEye remake, and maybe we should hire Crawleywood because he did a great job and he brought in all these people. People don't think anymore as far as what gamers want, and people have to spend 1,400 hours making something that people want.
It's like that Grand Theft Auto story. Remember how everyone was saying how their servers are crap, but yeah, they're one of the most profitable games in the industry right now, and they had some of those shittiest wait times.
Yeah.
And some guy was like, yeah, it only takes 2 days worth of work to lower the wait time by 70%, and then they cut him a $10,000 check.
Yeah, it's like they're making millions of dollars. I'm like, that's kind of shitting in his face, dude.
I would have asked for at least $100K for how much foot traffic they're gonna get, especially considering he just did their work not only for current gen, but next gen.
Yeah,
because remember, GTA 5 will be on next gen for some reason. For free for Sony PS5 customers.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to get more GTA 5 for the current gen.
Yeah. And I feel, again, I just feel bad for the story. Because in terms of, how I say, they say, what's the phrase, any publicity is still publicity. This is the first time Far Cry 5 has been in the news since, launch.
That's a good point, too. That's a good point too, definitely. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like Ubisoft had to. It wasn't. I don't think it was one of those things where Ubisoft was like, "We have to take this down because this is wrong." Like they got wind from
someone,
the original GoldenEye.
Yeah, whoever has the copyright.
Yeah, and
clearly then reached out to Ubisoft, not this guy.
Yeah, like cease and desist or whatever, and then they had to take it down. So, but they should hire Crawleywood, dude. Crawleywood's a talented guy, but just the deeper point that the deeper point here is just that this is a game that he made something that a lot of people wanted, that a lot of people played, that a lot of people wanted, and he shouldn't have to work. He shouldn't have to spend 1,400 hours to do that because a whole studio, a whole publishing company, a whole developing company, like that they don't see the vision of what gamers want.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel like to a point, like modders, like him, you need to get. I wish they had more involvement in the industry because, like, in terms of modding, like another big mod that's either coming out or came out. No, it came out had an issue separate to the game itself.
Yeah.
But people modded New Vegas into Fallout 4. Like pretty much as a whole fucking game. Like, wow. Like the world, the city itself, missions, characters, everything. And it's like, fuck, how are these people not hired?
Yeah, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, and exactly, because like
Cyberpunk. Remember, I called it. I called it, and a lot of people did too. But this, like, remember how they announced, like, the second we got wind that, I forget what the phrase was, like not the exact game code, but the official modding kit of Cyberpunk was going to be released. I was like, watch, modders are going to fix so much shit in their game within 24 hours. And like, boom, like load times, lighting.
They fixed a lot.
Like characters disappearing, characters reappearing. The fact you go into a crowd of NPCs and of 20 people, like 10 of them are the same character, same clothes, same voice. And like, bam, within like, again, like one weekend, like one fucking weekend.
Yeah.
like that, I think that it was like that story came out Friday, like Monday morning, boom, all these options that got fixed from modders. And
it's crazy too, because they welcomed it back to the PlayStation Store.
With an asterisk.
With a huge friggin' asterisk saying, hey, this game is not meant for PlayStation 4. Like, it kind of runs, but it doesn't.
And remember, not only did that story break, remember it was announced that it truly never was meant for the PS4.
Exactly.
It was that Cyberpunk 2077 officially came out and said it was never truly meant for current gen consoles.
Yeah. And you know what's sad about that? Like, to me that rings true when it comes to like just like the pressure that they got to do it, you know what I'm saying? And like to roll it out or whatever, and then just the lack of awareness or visibility. But just the main thing to me is just like these publishing companies and these video game companies, they have to stop. To me, they have to stop investing in multi-platform stuff for games that are focused towards next gen.
Yeah.
Like just like it's been 7 years. Like, I know there's profit to be had, but depending on the game, like, guys, just cut the cord, make it PS5, Xbox Series X, PC. Like, and I know I'm seeing more of that.
Yeah.
And obviously GTA 5 is going to ride that bull till the cows come home.
They're gonna ride that bullshit till it stops smelling. That's my phrase.
Nice.
That bullshit till it stops smelling.
I like that even better. But yeah, man, just going back to like, you guys have to stop just stop putting so much pressure on these devs to work on content that they should just be focused on the current gen, Series X, PS5, Series X, and PC obviously, and just. Yeah, like, come on, it's really sad. Like, and then obviously, everyone, we were like, well, no shit, but it just showed more so as far as for how these companies are just trying to quickly get some more money with these older consoles.
It's understandable, yet sucks how it takes great failures for the industry to learn. And to a point, given the publisher, it's like we either laugh and join in, or we're just sad.
Yeah.
Like again, for me, the top 3 industry failures I usually refer to is Battlefront 2. Again, because it was EA, we cheered and laughed at that shit.
Yes,
it was
we did.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it was.
Because they treated a AAA. If you got the game with the season pass, that was $100 game, and they treated it like a fucking mobile game.
Yeah.
Oh, you spend $100, or you want another character, $40 more.
They thought they were going to get away with that shit too.
Because they do with other sports shit.
Yeah.
So remember earlier I mentioned, hey, if you're listening, you play NFL Madden. I'm not saying stop, but don't spend money.
Yeah.
Because for years, EA, even fucking now,
yeah,
EA has got away with their fucking Ultimate Team bullshit on their sports games. And they thought that shit was gonna fly with Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
No, it fucking won't. So they, again, to a point, as a publisher, they got what they fucking deserved.
Yeah.
With all the media credit, with all the media coverage and everything like that. And so I mentioned how there's three major failures that I refer to. It's usually Battlefront, Fallout 76, again, a lying dumpster fire worth of a game.
Yeah.
That because that was an example of many examples of, hey, let's release an unfinished game and fix it as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna release an unfinished game, don't charge me the price of a full fucking game.
Exactly.
Charge me the price of an unfinished fucking game.
Exactly.
They don't fucking lie about it.
Yeah.
And again, they went to court over that and settled. And to a point, like, again, not a lawyer, just real quick. If I hear the phrase settled, to a point, that means you lost.
Yeah, it's like you knew you were wrong. You knew you were wrong, and yeah.
16 times the detail. 16 times fuck you. I just love that quote. And then the third major, of course, industry failure, now Cyberpunk.
Right.
With a lot of moving parts.
Dude.
And here's the thing that sucks, because remember, they're still going to court about false advertising for how much this game will work, was supposed to work for current gen consoles. And with this announcement, they kind of admitted the truth, and now they will. I mean,
yeah,
based on that court case, they'll probably have to pay up.
Yeah,
because remember, someone is suing them for the fact that these games were never going to work on current gen console, and with the statement this week, it proves them right. So, yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: how I was saying how, you know, with depending on the industry failure, we either cheer and laugh at it or we're sad. This was one where we're sad because CD Projekt Red was a well trusted and highly respected developer.
Yeah, especially with The Witcher 3.
Yeah, and this was just, whereas Battlefront was like, haha, fuck you, you try to fuck us over, haha. This was like a fall from grace. Yeah. And again, with this recent announcement combining with that court case I just mentioned, they're gonna have to pay out. It sucks.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, speaking of losing, people are kind of going nuts here. There's been a lot of cryptic, interesting conspiracy stuff from centering around potentially the mastermind of Hideo Kojima on the next project, potentially. And this was really like there were some YouTube videos and they were getting high traction on these conspiracies here. I'm nodding my head, but go ahead. But very interesting stuff here. So according to Input, they kind of have this weird cryptic site here, but it says here in quote, "What if a game isn't a game? It is actually a piece of covert marketing created to stroke interest in another, more real game. Say, for example, a brand new installment of a famous survival horror series, Silent Hill." So they say, let us explain. It says here in quote, "The forefront hypothetical isn't just a thought of exercise, it's real, ongoing conspiracy being espoused by superfans of Metal Gear mastermind Hideo Kojima, many of whom are convinced that an upcoming PS5 title called Abandoned is actually a front for the famed game director's next project." It says here, in the BlueBox conspiracy, everything revolves around a game called Abandoned, a survival horror title from the Dutch indie developers BlueBox Game Studios. Abandoned was originally announced by Sony via a fairly bizarre trailer in April of this year and is being billed as a cinematic horror survival shooter that emulates realistic survival in a first-person perspective set in a massive, detailed open-world environment. Or at least that's what Hideo Kojima wants you to think, according to an emerging group of Redditors. Gotta love Redditors, man. Recently, a subreddit with thousands of followers has begun connecting the dots between Abandoned and its apparent developers, BlueBox Game Studios, and Hideo Kojima in a conspiracy that alleges that BlueBox is actually a front for marketing misdirection orchestrated by Kojima himself. According to BlueBox theorists, Abandoned is actually a publicity stunt for a new installment of Silent Hill, a franchise that Kojima has in the past been involved with before splitting with Konami over creative differences. As well as it sounds, the BlueBox conspiracy isn't pulled entirely from the ether. There's actually some precedent for Kojima engaging in misdirection in the past. For example, around 2015, Kojima created a fake game studio with a fake director played as a very real actor to promote a game that was later revealed to be Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. An actor hired by Kojima even went as far as to give an interview about the Fugazi game using the pseudonym Joachim Morgren, the anagram for Hideo Kojima. Okay, so what about Abandoned? So given Kojima's precedent penchant for subversive marketing in the past, superfans of the game designer have latched onto Abandoned for several inconclusive but admittedly strange connections. I'm gonna almost end quote here, but for instance, a now deleted tweet from BlueBox said that Abandoned was actually a codename for a game that will start with an S and end with an L, i.e. Silent Hill. Kojima recently posted a tweet discussing two books that use both words Silent and Hill. BlueBox, a relative unknown in the game world, claims that the staff of more than 50, yet its LinkedIn page lists only the company's director. Konami, publishers of Silent Hill, recently teased the new merchandise for the franchise, and Hideo Kojima and box director Hassan Kamram share the same initials. You get the point. End quote. Man, the internet wants Silent Hill to be real so bad.
Here's my thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's a new quarter. Time for a Kojima rumor. It's like every 3 months, like clockwork. Whether this is based, whether there's fact behind this or not, I'm just still going with every 3 to 6 months, there's a new Kojima rumor. There just is. Like how many times on this show we've heard it?
Yeah.
And again,
true.
I'm not saying this won't be true. No, here's why I'm not saying, here's the only reason why I think this is not entirely, this is double negative, entirely not impossible.
Yeah.
Is, okay, number one, Capcom did it. Remember Capcom's game was advertised as The Village for months before it became Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, that's true.
Because remember, like, and that when that one quote unquote the true quote unquote reveal trailer of The Village, where it faded out, it became, Roman numeral 8. And then people are like, what? 8 what? And then it was announced Resident Evil 8.
Right.
So it's not unheard of one game being called something and then actually being called something else. That's not unheard of.
Yeah.
Kojima clearly, like, totally faking a company and a person and pulling a Harry Potter Tom Riddle, Voldemort, is also not unheard of. Yeah. But to a point, this has the feelings of, like, back when Steam and Valve were good, and, like, Gabe would do an interview and have 3 pencils on his desk. Oh, 3 pencils! It means Half-Life 3. Like, it just has that vibe.
Yeah, there's some of that evidence where, like, guys, like, take this off the board.
It had a vibe of, like, oh, he posted a picture with 3 stuffed animals behind him. The Half-Life 3 confirmed. Like, because that's how it was. You remember those days? Yeah. Like, I'm not joking. It was crazy.
We were starving for Half-Life 3. Yeah,
it was crazy shit of, like, he would have an interview or post a picture. It's like, his shirt has 3 colors. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was that bad. It was that bad.
It was.
And again, half of this. I will say this: of all the recent Kojima conspiracy and rumors, this is the closest one potentially based in facts, because they link to other trends that he's done.
Yeah.
The other half of this again is on par with he has 3 fingers. Half-Life 3.
Yeah, it's like the BlueBox director and him, they have the same initials, like, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
That's my thing. Is like, again, is like, one, there's a Kojima Silent Hill rumor every 3 to 6 months for the past 6 years.
Yeah. I just love that he doesn't address it.
Oh no, I
think that's amazing. Like, just let people talk. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing I'll say to this though. How long will he let this hang until we start treating him like we treated Gabe and Valve about Half-Life 3?
I think it's different.
Because he was dickish about it, whereas Kojima's just silent.
Yeah, I think it's different. The reason why I think it's different is because Kojima wanted to make Silent Hill.
Yeah, I will give you that. He was very open about it, and again, PT existed and it got shut down.
Yeah, like that was literally that was literally a licensing thing between Konami and them. But so I see the connection to the potential connection, but I think this is different. But if Kojima's a brilliant mind and one of my favorite creators of all time, because he has my favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1. But if he in fact is doing something that is attached to this, that would be fucking amazing. Like, it would just be another notch on his belt, So I don't know. I agree that I think some of these are very far-reaching, and I'm curious to see what else is going to be released for Abandon, and 60% of me is like, this is just a fun thing on the internet for people to do while they're still looking for a job and restrictions are down. But then 40% of me is like, dude, Kojima has a track record of doing some interesting things. So
he does,
very, very well possibly might be the next Silent Hill. And I talk about this all the time, definitely with you every now and again, Arthur, and then like with Preston as well, we're just like Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, that was such an amazing combination. And it's really amazing too, as far as how PC connected with people. Like, that game freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, PT?
Yeah, PT. I love the premise, going through this hallway. You're listening to the radio. You hear the news report of the guy who killed his family and shot his pregnant wife in the chest and or in the stomach. And then you end up seeing crazy stuff in remembrance of that. You see a fetus in the sink, and you see these creepy ass people, and just insane for a horror experience. And then obviously being a demo as well. And then the good old Norman Reedus.
Yep.
And thank God they used him again for
Death Stranding.
And then announcing that the director's cut is going to be a PS5 exclusive, which makes sense. But as far as for the Silent Hill thing, man, I would absolutely love if he turned this into, no, this is Silent Hill, or Hills. I would fucking love it. And obviously the biggest thing is that I would love to see, and if not, I'd love to see more of Abandoned, and see how that cooks up, because, he does such a great job with what technology he has. So especially when it comes to PS5, he's always known for pushing the graphical capabilities too.
Yeah, in terms of aesthetics and graphics, they're using the cutting edge of that look good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's all I really have to say about that. But I just found that really interesting how the internet was going nuts about this. Yeah, man.
On a side note, I'm on his Instagram to see if I can see one of these like
This weird cryptic weirdnesses. Yeah.
And no, he just posts stuff that he likes. It's Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love that. I just love it. I mean, even if we were to continue this article here, it continues to say here, it says that there's also a fact that Jeff Keighley, the video game journalist and commenter, hinted at being involved in Abandonment's unveiling, though later clarified, in quote, "I honestly don't think this is what you guys think it is." It says there's one problem in the theory. It says BlueBox is the director Hassan Kamaran, and I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, sir, have flat out denied anything to do with the Kojima, Silent Hill, or any covert marketing gimmick, a denial that hasn't prevented believers in the conspiracy from continuing to investigate. The BlueBox Studios said, "Sorry guys, this is not it."
But as the internet would say, that's exactly what you're supposed to say. That's exactly what a Silent Hill producer would say.
Exactly. Exactly.
Again, I don't. Again, that's me. I don't want to come off as a downer. It's just, for me, Kojima is synonymous with internet rumors.
Let me ask you this. Twofold, right?
Okay.
So we'll have potential column A and column B. Okay. Column A. If you found out that Silent Hills is real, it's coming out, PS5 exclusive.
I'm buying a PS5.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Would that lean you towards PS5 and getting one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then column B says it's on Game Pass. Made the deal with Kojima, and your theory, you called it. That's the ultimate. That's the call of the century. Kojima saying "fuck you, Jim Ryan," and high-fiving Phil Spencer, just broing down. Like, that is the biggest of big dick energy I've ever. I would have ever seen.
Because that's, I mean, to a point, especially when it comes to creative decisions or like the lack of creative decisions, I love when makers of games leave to another studio.
Yeah.
I have the sign, I have the signed picture of me and the maker of Mega Man, because he was like, "Fuck you, Capcom, I'm making my own game." And then I forget his name, but the maker of Castlevania. Yeah. Same thing. "Fuck you, I'm making my own game, Bloodstained." Which is on Game Pass. So, again, Bloodstained is the spiritual successor to Castlevania. I know Mighty Number 9 had, issues because it was a, GoFundMe versus Capcom funding, but now the door's open for him to do whatever he wants. Again, and, Kojima's left Konami, so he's a free agent. Still, clearly, with the whole Death Stranding director's cut, clearly still linked to Sony. Yeah. But Konami is usually a Sony exclusive, and they did you dirty. Phil Spencer won't do you dirty. He'll fuck it. You get your own fridge.
I am almost 100% certain that they have had conversations over email, phone with a translator. I know they've had some kind of conversation.
It's funny because as I was going through his Instagram, he advertised the crap out of he advertised the crap out of not Death Stranding, Starfield. There's a bunch of Starfield stuff.
Oh yeah. Some really dope stuff there. He wrote a book too, like about creativity and stuff like that. And part of me wonders if there's like cryptic stuff in there too, about potentially Silent Hills. But we can only.
But so like I said on his Instagram, he had a few no caption, I guess is the phrase, just Starfield.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
The guy likes space. There's a lot of space stuff on his socials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he likes space.
Oh yeah.
What if the next Silent Hill's in space?
That would be interesting. Well, speaking of space, I think we're gonna jettison out this episode here for the Gamers for Life podcast. Wrapping it up here. Any lasting thoughts before we adjourn? Close out here, Arthur.
If you're listening, you haven't tried the Game Pass yet, try it. No, again, seriously, like, just as a gamer, like, especially during COVID, a lot of people are, yes, there's people going back to work, but a lot of people like myself that are not back to work and you want a game on a budget. Remember, next gen games, or at least PS5. I don't know about Xbox, but only because Sony's advertised this as a kind of like a consumer warning. Yeah. Or PSA. Next gen games are $70.
Yeah.
And, you know, Halo Infinity is not that. Halo Infinity, Halo Infinite.
Yeah. I mean, it's free to play for the it's free. There's free to play. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had, wrapping up, I don't have any thoughts. It just, again, with the Kojima thing, I would love to be proven wrong. Again, it's just how many times I've been let down.
Yeah.
Because again, I asked you like how many, like, why are we looking at him different than Gabe? Because again, people were starving for Half-Life 3, and again, it got to the point again, he has. Again, 3 colored shirt, Half-Life 3.
Right, yeah.
But again, the difference in him and, Kojima and Gabe is like being a dick about it. Like, fuck you. And Kojima just silently. I mean, I would say silent, but again, he made PT and it got shut down.
Yeah, like he was working on it, and the Half-Life 3 thing, that was like almost like 10 years, almost 10 years of waiting on this thing.
It's funny. There's some YouTube footage now. There's some YouTube footage of like parents and like dads with their sons, and there's like 10-year-old son finishes Half-Life 2. It's like, oh, okay. They play Half-Life. They play Half-Life 2.
All the episodes.
The episodes. They play the episodes, and it's like, okay, where's part 3? Oh no, my son.
Yeah, exactly. You are now a man.
Yes. Let me give you this shirt that says Drell approved. Fuck you, Valve.
Yeah,
but exactly. Dude, I definitely, again, I gotta save up, man. Not only for Broketober, but again, if I'm able to get my hands on everything, if I'm able to get my hands on everything, I will look to purchase the Xbox fridge, mini fridge.
Yeah.
Series X, and the optimized Series X monitor.
Dude, you're gonna have a hell of a year, hell of a time this holiday season. So,
happy birthday to me! Again, remember my birthday is on Cyber Monday.
That's right. Jeez, Louise.
I still remember a few years back when it was on Black Friday and I was working at GameStop, and I dropped mad hints. It was my birthday. And no one gave a shit. I was like, oh, I could be at home eating cake and blowing out candles. Crickets.
They're like, yeah, hey, did you alphabetize the wall?
Yeah. Can I just say something real quick? Just a quick soapbox with GameStop.
Yeah.
Why do they double alphabetize games? Because not one customer gives 2 shits. Here's what I mean by double alphabetize. When you I don't know if I said GameStop because we worked there, but other retailers, they have to do like, we have to do double alphabetize, like AA, like first letter, second letter. No one gave a shit. They just look for A's and B's. And even alphabetize, still no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
I would openly never. I would never. Maybe one time if the boss told me to do it and I was in front of them. But otherwise, maybe like a handful of occasions in the years I worked there, I never double alphabetized. Because I thought it was the biggest fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
On how I got there, just like a memory stirred up. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that was fucking stupid. Let's say McDonald's made a game. I'd have put MC, after MA, and I'm like, it's an M. No one gives a shit. There's no discs in there. It's all going to come off the wall when a kid grabs it.
This was how busy our store was. Well, folks, that is going to wrap up here episode 40 of the Gamers for Life podcast.
Yeah.
Each and every Saturday, discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, right-hand man, Arthur.
That's me.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.